Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And this is WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony, the fans might have missed you back on January 19th. We had a little bit of snow in the Boston area, but you're going to be back Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios. We want the fans to come down. Admission is free.
Yes, and not only that, Boston Media is the best. It's the beast of the East. SOS, simply out of sight. Often imitated, but never duplicated.
I don't think anyone could duplicate what you and I created.
No, because it's raw.
Because I'll tell you this, there's many...
No strip, just say what we think, say what we mean. It's raw.
Many people tried to copy what we did with the Iron Sheik in this studio, and they were never able to get the recipe right, so to speak.
Right. The original is always better than the rest.
Absolutely. Tony will also be available for autographs and pose photos for a nominal fee. And again, while admission is free, we want you to come on down to the TV studio. Whether you're in Boston or anywhere around the world, we need as much fan support as possible. We have great items for sale on BostonWrestling.com. We're starting to use eBay more. The more fans that participate in getting these shows produced, the more Tony will be here. I know, Tony, our goal has been to try and get you here on a weekly basis if the fans will support it.
Yes, you know, and one thing about Boston Media that it does for a lot of us legends, Vince does a lot for us, but he keeps us undercover a lot. But with Boston Media, you can get to see Tony, you get to see the Iron Sheik, you can get to see the Tito Santana, and come and meet us live and listen to some of our stories, because some of the things that we did in our younger days, a lot of it being legal today, first of all.
Very true.
But it was a different world, and I was lucky to see the old world and see the coming of the new world.
WWE isn't going to produce a 3-DVD set for every superstar they ever had under contract. That's why these types of shows are so important, especially where we lose so many legends on a yearly basis. So again, we send out the invitation to you Friday night, March the 1st, right here at MWF Studios, Melrose, Massachusetts. Check out BostonWrestling.com for complete event information. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way. Infinity Key, a truly natural online language training experience. 25,000 minutes, that's what you'll need to invest. Invest 25,000 minutes with Infinity Key, and we'll build you a portfolio of language experiences designed to accelerate your personal progress. The coach will help you strike the right balance between passive acquisition and active application of your target language. InvestKey's algorithms and coaches guide you along the clearest, quickest path forward on your journey to fluency. Visit www.infinitykey.rocks for more information, and follow Infinity Key on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityKey.
He is the People's Champion, the Brahma Bull, the Great One, and this...
Finally, The Rock has come back!
...is his story. Journey alongside the millions in this definitive guide to
The most electrifying man in sports and entertainment!
See The Rock.
It's just a man!
Like you've never seen him before.
But The Rock is cooking!
The World of The Rock. Available now.
Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask. Inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, it's Bang 316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com. Unbelievable, Tony.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there, live.
It's a holiday.
We always celebrate holidays. Wrestling, football players, baseball players, we all celebrate holidays.
All right, from right here in Melrose.
Okay.
He wanted to know, Tony, if you were eyeing Valentine's Day to use as a first date with someone, what would you do?
On the first date?
Correct. On Valentine's Day.
The first thing I would do is go out and make reservations in one of the nicest restaurants that my loved one always wanted to go. Not a restaurant that I want to go to, but a restaurant that she always wanted to go to. The second thing that I would do on Valentine's Day is to get her favorite flower. Now, most people buy roses. I myself like to find out what is her favorite flower. Because some ladies like carnations.
Yes.
Every woman don't like. Some like a different flowers. Some like different type of food. I may want to go to a Chinese restaurant, but she may want to go to an Italian restaurant. Italian could be her best food. So the first thing you want to do on Valentine's Day for your spouses is do something for each other, not for yourself. When I take my wife out, I say, honey, where do you want to go on Valentine's Day? And I know what her flowers are. I'm not going to say it on table, but I would go.
Are you afraid that a man might send Monica flowers if they knew?
No, my wife would shoot them.
Oh, okay. Then why don't you want to share what these flowers are?
Because she like all.
Oh, all right.
She Orkin.
It's a long list.
Yeah, Orkin, because she got a big flower garden, but her favorite is Orkin. She loved that orchid. That's why I drew that picture for you. I put the orchid there because they was in the house.
Yeah.
So I look at the orchids that was in the house because she loved them orchids because they only come once in a while
Right.
and stuff. And they come in different color, burgundy, white. And so the main thing about Valentine's Day that you want to do is try to make, the first thing you want to do is try to find out all the things that are going to make this person Valentine's Day the one that they could never forget.
Now, traveling Dan Lavery, he looks like an individual that might go down to Shaw's to get these flowers. Where would you recommend going to, a florist or just going to a supermarket to get them?
Well, if you don't have financial means,
Yes.
one of the things, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
So if you could sit there, if you got any artistic ability, and you just sit there and draw and make with your own hand a Valentine card, because anybody could buy a Valentine card. That take a couple of seconds. The one thing you don't want to do on Valentine's Day, which is a big, big no-no, is to text them. That takes no effort, and you ain't treating them no different than you treat your brother, your sister, your buddy. You put them in that same kind of, you want to do something for them that you would do for no one else. Just like when I'm lucky that I got a little bit of artistic ability, I never buy my wife a Valentine card. I always make her one. You could fix your wife dinner instead of taking her out to a restaurant.
Well, he's trying to set up a first date, Tony.
Well, fix her something to eat.
Yeah, well, I think traveling Dan Lavery might have.
But if you make it yourself, just like writing a letter, just like if you write a love letter, it has more meaning to the person receiving the letter than a text. Because with a text, you put no effort into it. I mean, you did it in a few seconds. But when you write a letter, that takes a little extra effort to write. So that anyone could text.
Yeah.
You get texts all day long. You get them from your boss. You get them from your sister. You get them from your brother. Who you don't get a freaking text for? So if you text your loved one on Valentine's Day, talk about I love you, what significance that have? Zero. But if you sit down and take the time to write a nice letter and express how you feel about this person, or instead of buying them a cake, bake them a cake. Well, I'm serious.
I'm just trying to picture this gentleman baking the cake.
When you ask any woman for a man to do something special that you do for no, Valentine's Day is a day you do something for your spouse that you do for no other individual. If I text my wife, tell her I love her with Valentine's Day, and then I text a friend and say Happy Valentine's Day, what the difference between the two gifts other than the wording?
Right.
I mean, I'm texting you, I text you, right? I text my wife. Where's the difference? You getting the same treatment my wife's getting. I'm not making her special. Right. You want to make your spouse, your loved one special. You do something for them that you would not do for no one else. Right. And they see it that way. Yeah. They see, just like Scott made this, not my Valentine gift, but Scott make these personalized
WWE LJN figures.
Hey, can you just, yeah, them action, y'all got to get a look at this. I don't
We're
know
going
if
to
they
put a
can see
link in
this.
the comment section.
I don't know if y'all can see this,
right,
but
well,
where's that
just throw it up
camera?
anyway, Tony.
Look at here. Look at here. Now, this is personally made. You can't buy this in the store. You go on and order this from my, and I hope later on you will
We're going to put a link.
so people will know how to do it. He just recently made this one for me, and he made a Bruiser, the late Bruiser Brody, and he got many people, and these are personalized. You can't get them nowhere else. You can only get them for this one person. He personalized them, and he makes them himself. So you cannot go. I'm the only one, as of now, that got this doll. This is the only doll, black Superman doll in the world. This is it.
And you know what, Tony, I find impressive. I don't think you ever actually opened an LJ action figure back in the day, but he also made this little poster that came with it.
Yes.
Now, if you were a young guy like me back in the 80s and you bought the WWF LJN figures, it used to come with a pretty cool-looking poster like that of whoever the superstar was that was the action figure. You get the poster with the Tony Atlas figure, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you know, so to me, Scott will always be a special friend because he's not my lover. I like him as a good friend. He's a wonderful man. He got 4 beautiful, well-behaved kids. Yeah. And his kids is out of the 50s. The reason I say that, they got manners.
They're rather old. I thought they were born in the 50s.
No, they act like they were born in the 50s because they got what they call good manners. They well behaved. They don't tell Scott what to do. Scott is their father. He tell them what to do. They don't tell their mom what to do. They're not sassy. They go to school. They do what they're told. They're good kids. And you don't see a lot of kids today that got what you call mannerism.
Right. They need some mannerisms. All right, Tony.
There's a bird. There's a flag.
That looks almost kind of like the outfit you used to wear down in Puerto Rico.
Yes, and I'll tell you, when they come to WrestleFest and when you come to the Mohegan Sun, I'm going to be wearing this outfit.
Unbelievable.
So if you want to take a picture with the black Superman, in his black Superman suit, it was from World Class. World Class was when I did the black Superman. And so I'm going to be wearing this outfit so that the fans could do a photo op with the black Superman.
Unbelievable. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, back to the question board. If you remember, we did a New Year's Eve special, and you kind of counseled a rather lonely individual down in Palm Bay, Florida. The name is Reno Chastain. Reno wanted to know, again, to follow up on New Year's, what would your advice be to someone that's lonely and all alone on Valentine's Day?
You are never alone. You are never alone. You have things within you that is more comfortable to you than another person. When I pull out my art pad and I sit down and I draw, I feel wonderful. We could do things ourselves. Not to be alone on Valentine's Day or any holiday, the first thing we have to do as human beings is to learn how to appreciate. We have to develop our appreciation. Appreciate you here to see it. Now, Jim Neidhart don't have to worry about what he's going to do this new year. You see? Mean Gene Oakland don't have to worry about this new year. Tony Atlas do.
Yes.
So that's why I'm grateful that I'm here to see the new year come in. And you find things that do things to make you happy. It may be reading a good book. Yeah, if you like to read, that's good.
Well, maybe
you
Reno
may
would
find
enjoy
yourself,
a
you
good
may
book.
pull out one of your favorite movies. Like sometimes when I got nothing to do, I got this one movie I watch all the time called Pumping Iron.
Pumping Iron.
I like that movie. Yeah. So I would play that movie.
Well, I think Reno probably could use a movie or two to pull out from, but that's a different story for a different time.
Make you say you can be happy without people. You don't need people to be happy.
Well, he's looking for a little romance, Tony. What advice would you give the man? He's down in beautiful Palm Bay, Florida. It's a nice place to be, in February at least.
Well, if you want a good woman, join church.
You think Reno should join the church?
Join the church. There's a lot of good women that go to church.
All right.
Nightclubs is not a place to pick up any woman. So, maybe for 1 or 2 nights or a couple of months, but if you're looking for a long-lasting relationship, you have to go to a church.
So Reno should avoid the nightclubs.
Hey, you won't be long either. because God never leave you alone.
All right. Well, maybe Reno needs a little bit more God in his heart.
We all do.
All right, Tony, I'll tell you this one. This comes from all the way down under, from Radley Howick. He wants to know, Tony, being a superstar that you are, a celebrity that you are, what is your favorite Valentine's Day memory?
I don't have one.
You don't have a favorite Valentine's Day
It's not
memory?
my favorite day. Now, you should ask my wife that, or my daughter. But Valentine's Day is not for us guys. That's what us men folk keep forgetting. It's for to make them women feel special.
Well, Tony, I don't think that's necessarily true at all.
Well, that's how I was raised.
Well, what if you are in a same-sex relationship?
Well, even a same-sex relationship, one is the feminine and one is the masculine.
Is that the case?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony, for the
That's what it is for. I mean, you give a man Valentine. We don't see that. Now, you got to look at this from a man point of view.
Yeah.
I mean, you bring me some pink roses. I mean, everything they sell is for women. I mean, they don't sell nothing for us guys. The only thing they sell for me that I like is them chocolate Easter bunnies. Outside of that, I mean, roses, flowers, and all that stuff, if to romance your sweetheart. That's what it was all for. And we want to change it and give candy to chimpanzees and roses to elephants and give your dog the, you know, a bikini and all this stuff. No, it wasn't meant for elephants and giraffes and baboons and monkeys and none of that. It was built to romance your sweetheart. And what the man supposed to get in return, we can't talk about on TV.
Well, what are they supposed to get,
if even if you're same-sex married, it don't matter.
You're talking about perhaps being filleted.
That's what it was for.
Maybe that's one of your favorite Valentine's memories?
Have
you ever been filleted on Valentine's Day?
No, nobody ever gave me nothing for Valentine's Day.
In 60-some odd years, you were never filleted on Valentine's.
Always the giver on Valentine's Day.
Whoa, wait a minute, Tony. You did the filleting on Valentine's Day.
I do the giving. I'm the one that did the giving. I mean,
Tony Atlas,
I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing for the past almost 70 some years that I've been doing. I'm gonna go out and buy my wife some nice gift, and I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna just see what I'm sleeking.
Yeah.
What I would do about a week before, I would ask my wife, "Hey, we've been to a lot of restaurants. All the restaurants you've been to, which one you like the best?" But I asked her about 2 weeks before.
So she's not thinking of it. She'll forget about it.
I want to forget about that. Sometime I would take my wife at Christmas time. I'd take her shopping, like the first week of December, and we say we shopping for the kids. I'm gonna get something for the grandkids. So the wife, she would walk by. She sees something. Ooh, this is so nice. Ooh, I like this. Oh, I like this. So I said, oh, honey, I gotta go use the bathroom. So she'd go down the aisle, and I take it off the shelf. I go to the layaway. I said, "Can you lay that away for me?" And then my wife, come Christmas time, my wife opened. "How do you know I like that?" She got this certain glow that she get in her eyes when she really likes something. She lights up.
That's nice.
And so I see that, and I remember. I said, "Oh, that's what she wants." My wife always shocked. She said, "How do you know what I want every time?" And she don't know. She tells me earlier by her action. I watch how she react towards things. If I take her to a restaurant and if she only eat half of her food, I won't take her back there no more.
Really?
Because she's only eating to please me. Yeah. She didn't like it. She didn't like it. There was nothing there she liked. She ordered what she wanted. She didn't like it because she didn't eat all of it. So, I mean, I'm stupid, but I'm not dumb. I may look stupid, but I'm not dumb. I may have a lobotomy, but I'm not dumb. If my IQ was 1 point less, I'd be a banana, but I'm not dumb.
You look like a banana. You're all yellow.
Today I do, yes. But that's what I do. I just be very, very observant of her, and I get to know her likes and her dislikes. So on special days like Valentine's Day and her birthday and Christmas time, I try to do what I can to give her what she wants. And a lot of times, it don't have to be a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It could be just that one thing that she always wanted. And I wouldn't say nothing about it. And I just wait until she's not around and I go get it by myself. And I put it away somewhere and then I give it to her that day. I won't talk about
Tony,
it no more.
I never did that with Linda Moratti back in the day, although she isn't getting Valentines anymore. That's a different story for a different time. But let me continue down the list, Tony. This one comes from, it looks like T.M. Ashland on Twitter. He wants to know, Tony, what do you do if you don't have one but two women on Valentine's Day?
He should be ashamed of himself, first of all.
Why should he be
He
ashamed of
better not
himself?
ever come around none of my daughters. I shoot him in his bad feet.
How many daughters do you have?
It don't matter.
You only have one.
Look. A woman, and I hope I don't get in trouble saying
Go ahead.
Guys, let me tell y'all something. A woman can look up longer than you can look down. And women are not something that you could use and abuse emotionally. When a woman gives herself to a man in the Bible, not to get into religion, God said, woman is a gift to man. It's a gift. They're not to be exploited. They're not to be misused. They need to be cherished and taken care of. Now, I got a daughter and I got a wife that I love very, very much. I got two daughters. And any man that want to be my daughter, you make up your mind. If you ain't ready to settle down with no one woman yet, then don't get no woman. Have them all.
You think he should get rid of both of them?
I'll make up his mind which one he want. I'll make up his mind which one he want, because somebody's going to get hurt. Yeah. And why do that?
Well,
why do that to somebody? I mean, I got daughters.
He's coming to you for advice.
Well, that's my advice. Stick with one. Stick with one.
Stick one or stick with one?
Stick with one woman.
All right.
Hey, why in the hell you want to come home anyway and have two women fussing at you?
Well, I think maybe the key to that working is that he leaves before the fussing begins.
Well, then he's worse than I thought he was.
Well, I don't know. This is someone off of Twitter.
Well, if he out there playing women like a tom-tom, something wrong with him.
Well, maybe that's what the TM stands for, tom-tom.
He probably, no, brother, you make up your mind, get yourself one woman that's going to stick with you, sacrifice, and you and her, y'all go through it together. It's nothing greater on the planet Earth than to have somebody to love and somebody to love you back. To share love is a great thing, and you'll never reach that by spreading yourself too thin. You want a woman, you go through the good times. You know the history of me and my wife. My wife left me, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all get my book. Dan Morelli knows this.
You got that right,
in fact,
baby.
Dan Morelli and the Boston Bad Boy is partially responsible for Tony Atlas being here now, because Tony Rumble and Dan Morelli, they gave me work back in the late 80s and early 90s, where I took a wrestle with Tony Rumble and Dan Morelli. So we got a long history. We didn't just start becoming friends.
October 1993, baby.
1993. That's how long I've been knowing this gentleman. And I was just leaving the WCW, didn't know how to make a living, and the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble, and Dan Morales would say, Tony, you come and work with us. And they the one that got me started on the independent circuit and showed me how to make a living outside of the WWE. So I owe this man a great deal. But when I met my wife, I didn't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. And she stuck with me through thick and thin. But I never let another woman come in between me and my wife. And we right now got the most wonderful relationship that any two couple have. My wife just told me this morning, and I almost cried. She said, I never really told you this, but I think you are a great husband.
Oh, isn't that nice?
That's what she told me. She thought I was a great...
You know what Linda Moratti used to say to me? When do you get paid next? No, that is 100% true. But Tony...
Well, you didn't lay enough pipe.
Well, you should hear her thoughts on that. Again, a different story for a different time.
Not to get you kicked off TV, not that you got to remember that.
She said it was more... I know you're a chef, right?
Dad, you got to only remember this.
What
a little word from the wise.
Yeah.
You got to lick it before you stick it, and you'll be okay.
That's your Valentine's tip. You know what she said about me, Tony? I know you cook, right?
Yes.
She said it'd be like taking the spaghetti and putting it in the water. That's how I was when I would go to lay the pipe.
You know, speaking of spaghetti, Andre used to take spaghetti and scramble eggs.
Really?
That's how he ate for breakfast. He would take spaghetti, and scrambled eggs and scrambled it together. That's what you eat for breakfast. Scrambled eggs and spaghetti mixed together.
All right, Tony.
With a lot of Parmesan cheese on it.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah,
Another Andre story.
Yeah.
Tony,
She said it was good for a hangover.
we heard from Radley down under. Now we have a man that I think is perhaps looking to go down under. This one is Singing M. Margolis. He says, Tony is a man of the world and I'll use the term, black man. How would you go about trying to get my significant other to open up to new sexual adventures on Valentine's Day?
Is he asking me this?
Yes.
He had to try, first of all, you don't need nothing new. You just need how to make a climax.
So wait a minute. So Mrs. Margolis needs to learn how to climax.
She's not climaxing. And what he's doing, if a woman asks, if he's looking for new ways of satisfying her, if she's not being satisfied, take your time. Go back to what I said. You gotta lick it before you stick it.
Well,
and that's the problem. He's rushing it.
Do you think singing in
Slow down.
Do you think singing in Margolis is singing too much?
I think he's doing a wham bam thank you ma'am.
Probably.
And she's not happy with his performance. It's just like wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go and I watch Hulk Hogan wrestle, great match. I'm going back to watch Hulk Hogan again because I really got an enjoyment out of watching Hulk Hogan wrestle. But if I go and watch Joe Blow wrestle and his wrestling is horrible, I'm not going back to see him no more. If I go sit down in a restaurant and order me a steak and they burn up my steak, overcook my steak, I ain't going to that restaurant no more. And so with his wife, she don't want to kick him to the curb, but she's telling him in so many ways, brother, you gotta, I'm not getting nothing out of this. And some of us guys, we get a little selfish when it comes to that.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think that's what singing in Margolis is, selfish?
He's looking for the woman to do what he should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need nothing.
Well,
new.
what should, I guess, the female with M. Margolis
Sit
be doing?
down and talk to her and say, baby, what can I do to satisfy you? Swallow your pride a little bit, find out what he needs to do to make this woman happy.
Yes.
That's all you got to do. And 9 times out of 10, a woman wants to tell you, but she don't want to hurt your feelings.
You think she's trying to spare him?
Or women do stuff like that.
You don't think she's satisfied with this sexual experience?
No, not if they're looking for something new to do.
Yeah.
Because if you look for something new to do, evidently, you buy a new car because the old car ain't what no more.
New.
It ain't working
It
no
ain't
more.
working, I'm sorry.
But as long as that car is running, you're going to keep it.
Well, not everybody has an engine like Mark Dustin in the back.
Well, we don't
His
get
engine
with
never
them nothing that works good.
They called him Mr. Valentine's
If you
Day
got a
back in
nice
the
new
70s.
pair of shoes, you don't get with a new pair of shoes that feel good and look good. You get with them and they get worn out and they ain't performing their job no more.
Well, I hope all of these people...
Everything is the same. You don't have to, like, I had one good move in the ring.
And even that was debatable.
Press slam.
I'm just teasing.
But I didn't need to do nothing. I didn't do that. Jimmy Snuka, after he come up the top rope, he didn't have to do no more. Because what he did was satisfying. The fan was satisfied with the splash. The fan was satisfied with the press slam.
So you think this woman isn't satisfied?
Evidently.
All right. Well, fans, I don't know if we're ever going to do a Valentine's special again, but for all the folks we heard from, Reno, Radley, T.M. Ashland, Traveling Dan Lavery, Singing in Margolis, hopefully, instead of Dear
Lay
Abby,
that pipe, brother.
instead of Dear Abby, we have Dear Atlas.
Gotta make her happy.
If you have any thoughts on any of this show, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Again, if you're
Most
interested...
guys think sex is a one-sided thing just to satisfy them and not the woman.
Yeah.
See? I had a buddy of mine named Johnny Weaver.
Yeah.
And we went to a hotel one time. And he said, Tony, you man going, getting something to eat? I got a little company coming tonight. So I said, oh. So they had a little Waffle House. Now down south, they got what's called Waffle House.
Yes.
This is in Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right.
So I'm walking down the steps. They had the doors on the outside, not indoors, the elevator, all this stuff, little motel, So I walked down the step and across the parking lot. And Johnny, just as I was getting ready to walk through the door of the restaurant, Johnny said, hey, Tony, wait up. I said, well, shoot. He said, I'll go eat with you. So he go back in the house and, came back down, go back to the apartment, I mean the hotel, come back down. I said, Johnny, what happened? I said, did the girl come? Oh, yeah, she came. I said, did y'all do something? Oh, yeah, we finished. I said, Johnny, that was kind of short, was it? He said, look, I gave her the best 30 seconds of her life. And he said, I said, well, did she play? He said, yeah, she could play. But he said, I told her, said, look, honey, we both start off at the same time. It's not my fault you can't keep up. He took this girl, and George Well was another one like that, too.
Yeah.
George Well, one day we were with Junkyard Dog, and we were in a room together, and Dog had this girl in the room, so he would, in the old days, the boy, they get a girl.
You know what? I got to put the clipboard down. I'm starting to get story time myself. I got a good one, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then he called me and Dog. We would sit down eating. So the girl walked on me. Dog, Dog put
typical day at the beach.
Yeah, typical day. So I lay there, I got walked on. Dog got on top of him, did his thing. So she was standing there, Dog was.
So JYD didn't get sloppy seconds.
No,
he was the
first. He was the first. All I did
you
was
just got walked on.
Yeah, I got my shoes.
Just trying to set up the scenario for everybody.
I was good with the shoes, baby.
Yeah.
I was good. So George Well knocked on the door because he smelled the food.
Yeah.
And the Dog said, hey, George, also look on the bed. So he turned real fast, saw the naked girl on the bed. He pulled his clothes off, and he jumped down on the bed. Dog walked from the door to the little table in the hotel room, and he said, turn up, George, turn up. And he sat down, and as soon as he sat down here.
Now, who's this now, JYD?
George Well.
George Wells fell asleep while he was...
No, he was done.
Oh, when he was done laying the pipe.
But it took him from the time Dog walked from the door to the table. Wells was done. About 15 seconds.
He climaxed.
And as soon as he did it, I mean, it was over the moment he got on top of her.
Did the woman orgasm?
How can she? I don't even think she knew he was there.
Did JYD finish her off?
Oh, yeah, Dog did.
JYD grabbed them
George
cakes,
Well, George Well, I mean, he laid on top of her for about a couple of seconds, and he go, he was done. Fell asleep.
Did he whistle in the wheat fields?
Yeah, the girl said, get him off of me, get him off of me. It was just that quick. I never seen nothing like a day in my life. Never seen nobody do it that quick.
Do you think that's the problem with the last gentleman we heard from that's looking to explore?
To be honest with you, I think that's a problem with a lot of us
Singing
males.
in my goals.
Why we don't know how to satisfy a woman. The only one that gets satisfied in most sexual encounter are the man, not the woman.
Yeah.
And most women don't want to really tell us because us guys, we are so sensitive to, and we don't know enough about a woman body to know. I think a lot of us guys just don't know.
Really? They don't know how to give the proper orgasm.
Well, we too quick.
Yeah.
We want to get it over.
Maybe they're not interested in giving it.
They're only interested in satisfying themselves.
They want the main course, but they don't want the dessert.
Well, we train to only satisfy ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're not in the flow mat of, like one thing, I love Maine, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the one thing I learned about Maine since I've been up here, the guys in Maine treat women like one of the boys.
Do they?
Yeah, they don't open doors for them or none of that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, they treat them like one of the guys. They don't treat them like women. I noticed that when I first went to Maine. I opened the door for my wife, and 2 guys walked through. You think I'm holding this door for you? Yeah, we thought you were trying to be polite. I watch them when they walk to the car. They walk in front of the women. The women's carrying the groceries, carrying the baby, and the guy got nothing.
Unbelievable. Well, Tony, I tell you, you put a funny...
They treat women like... And another thing about Maine, too, and you ask any guy from Maine, would tell you, you go up to a woman, you know how you say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am? You say yes, sir, to a guy, it's okay. You say yes, ma'am, to a woman, she say, don't say that to me, it make me feel old. I see guys swear in front of women, and for Virginia, we've never done that.
I agree with you on that.
I mean, I wouldn't use bad language in front of a woman. But
that's a pet peeve of mine.
But since I've been to Maine, I've seen guys do it. They treat women like one of the guys. They don't treat them like women. This is something that really get me. They invite a woman out to dinner, right? Then they go Dutch.
Like him?
If you're going to invite a woman out to dinner and you're going to have her pay for her own meal?
Well, you've been known to enjoy a free meal.
Yeah, but if I'm going to invite a woman to dinner...
You're going to pay?
Yes.
All right.
I'm not going to tell her, hey, I want 2 checks.
But here's the thing, Tony. The women now, especially with this Me Too movement, they want to be treated as equals. So why can't they pay for the meal?
Oh, you sexist.
They want to be treated as equal as everything else. I'm not saying I would, but why don't they pay for half the
Then
meal?
a woman could do that too and say, why he can't wash his own clothes and cook his own meal?
I agree with that.
And change diapers with the babies too.
Correct.
See? We don't want to do that.
Well, Tony, before I
Because
lose...
they do extra stuff for us. Things that we don't do.
They do the filleting.
They go to work and they come home and cook your meal.
And they fillet.
They go to work. They come home and clean your house.
Right.
The first thing a woman do when she get a man, you know what she do with him?
Tell me.
Clean him up. She clip his toenail, pop his zits, clean his ears.
Roanoke, Virginia is a different animal than I've dealt with in life, but I want to share my story with your Junkyard Dog and George Wells story. This is a fellow WWE Hall of Famer. We're not going to name names because he's a married individual.
Okay.
But he had a great philosophy when it came to satisfying his needs on the road. He didn't
needs, see what I'm saying?
He didn't want to waste time with ring rats back at the hotel.
See?
Because he was like George Wells and he wanted a good night's sleep.
That's like Crickies.
So I'm interested to see off the air if you know who it is. He would go to the arenas early in the day at WWE events, and he would find women that worked at the arena, and he would find little closets to plow them in. At the arena...
Charlie Cook?
No, this is a WWE Hall of Famer. I don't know
See, he ain't the only
Cook.
one, see?
Oh, all right. Well, I guess Charlie did a little cooking of his own.
Charlie Cook.
All right, Tony.
The Ultimate Warrior.
We heard from Dan Lavery, we heard from Radley, we heard from T.M. Ashland, we heard from Singing M. Margolis, we heard from Reno. Anything else to add to this Valentine's Day celebration?
If you got a woman, you satisfy her needs. Take your time. Don't rush it. Most guys, they think only about themselves when they're in the presence of a woman. If you tend to her special needs, then she would be satisfied and you would be more happy too. Just don't rush it. Don't rush it. Take your time.
Maybe do a little whistling in the wheat fields before you unzip the pants.
There's nothing wrong with putting a little bubble in that old bathtub and get in to have yourself a nice little bath, a little foreplay before, don't hurt nothing. You got to get her in the movie. See, women is different than men.
Yeah.
We got a one-track man. Once we think about something, we don't think about nothing else. But I have lived with a lot of women. I've raised women. So they got 1,001 things on their man other than just what that one thing.
Right.
So while you trying to take her to the bed, she's thinking about the kids. She's thinking about the mortgage. She's thinking about this. She's thinking about that. All that is in here. You got to get all that out. Get it all out so that she can focus on just you and what's going on in your life. It's not like us. We get to thinking about sex right away, and that's all we think about. But women, they be thinking about sex, but they say, well, I wonder how the kids are doing. See? So you got to get her relaxed. They have to be at a relaxed stage in order to get all this stuff. They think all the time. So they got to get all this out of their head before...
They need to clear their minds. All right. Well, Tony, I tell you, if fans watching this may never think of Valentine's Day the same way again, for the Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, I'm Dan Marotti. Remember, this Sunday, WWE Elimination Chamber, we have a brand new Memories and Legends. We'll be here at MWF Studios Friday night, March the 1st. Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut, Saturday, March the 2nd. And all roads lead to Times Square in New York City for WrestleCon, Friday, April the 5th. Saturday, April the 6th. Tony Atlas, I'm Dan Marotti. Until we speak again, you and yours be well. Lay that pipe.